Hello, everybody. I'm Kate Clark, creator of Vibrant Channel Breathwork. Let's begin on our backs and surrender to gravity into the floor. See, feel all along your torso, your head, and your feet, and notice your sensations. Go ahead and place both of your hands on your heart, sending some breath into your hands, and feel that space at your root. Taking some deep breaths. And now go ahead and bring your left hand up to the top of your head and just feel any sensations in your skull. Notice the connection between the top of your head, your heart, and your root. Now go ahead and bring your hands to your diaphragm, your solar plexus. This is the top of your transversus. And send some breath into your hands. And as you do that, bring your right hand up to your forehead, your brow. And let your hand help those tissues soften. Notice the connection between your brow and your solar plexus. Breathing into your lower hand. And go ahead and move your hands now to your sacral area. So this is right above your pubic bone, right below your belly button. Trace that along your iliac crest. Keep one hand there and bring the other hand to your throat. So the tissues of your throat and the back of your neck can soften, your jaw can soften. Breathing into your lower hand. And feel the connection between these two energetic spaces. And go ahead and bring your hands down and just relax as we move into our side stretch. So go ahead and come onto your back, bring your knees to your chest. Drop your knees over to the right and place your zafu, and then straightening that top leg, flexing your foot. Arms are out to the sides and send your eye gaze over your opposite shoulder. And your tremor is in your leg. Breathing into your low ribs. This might be a very subtle tremor. enjoying that stretch. And now you can go ahead and remove your zafu and just come over into a fetal position on that same side. And let everything go to gravity, including your internal organs. Some even breaths. The resting is just as important as the tremoring. Even if your dog photobombs you. And as you're ready, let's even you out. So rolling onto your back. Arms out to the sides, knees to your chest, and then dropping your knees over. And placing that zafu. And then your other dog photobombs you. Straightening your leg. Eye gaze over the opposite shoulder. And sending your breath into your low ribs. Sounding on your exhale. That little fluffy sound. Feel free to be enjoying your own music throughout this whole destructuring session. And now go ahead and rest on that side into a fetal position. Let everything go. Tissues of the throat and the back of the neck are softening, and the jaw is softening. Let's move on to the wave. So go ahead and come onto your back and bring your hips up. Kind of catch your hips, and then flex your feet and straighten your legs. You can feel your back muscles spreading along the floor. Sounding on your exhale. If this feels too intense, you can bring your hips down towards your yoga mat a little bit, or even rest them on your zafu. Play with your edges, bending and straightening the legs. And now go ahead and come on out. You can just roll out and roll over and rest on your side. Let everything go to gravity. The tissues of your throat and the back of your neck softening, letting go. Your jaw can surrender to gravity as well. Notice your sensations if anything is changing. And we're going to go ahead and link together the seaweed and the open book. So go ahead and come onto your back and place the zafu underneath your butt. Bend your knees and bring them to your chest. Raise your arms up and then flexing your feet and straightening your legs. You can bring your toes towards the skull, especially if you're pretty flexible. And sounding on the exhale, just that fluffy sound. Sometimes nothing happens for a minute or two, and then all of a sudden your body starts to release and you get a little tremor that gets a little larger. And it might be different on any given day. Breathing through the mouth might seem obvious, but that's a detail. And go ahead and bring your knees down, bring your arms down, and we'll go directly into that open book. So knees are at your chest, flexing your feet and bringing your legs out to the sides. Your toes are coming towards your skull. And straightening the legs. Play with your edges here. Sounding on your exhale. This one can get really dramatic in my body. Softening your belly and letting your sound ride on the tremor if you have a good tremor going. And go ahead and bring your knees down. And remove your zafu and come over to your side, just resting. Easy tidal breath. switching to breathing through your nose or in through your nose, out through your mouth, whatever feels comfortable for you. Let's move into putting together our happy baby and our hammock. So go ahead and grab a hold of your feet or your toes and bring your legs out to the sides and just rolling from side to side. Keep your head on the floor. If you ever hang out with babies, they'll do this in their crib. So your knees are actually quite bent. I really like this because it feels like a little massage of the tissues of my back on the floor. If I want a tremor, I can straighten my legs. Sounding on the exhale. And then go ahead and bring your legs down, put your feet on the floor, keeping your knees bent. And this is the hammock, so we're just lifting up the pelvis, maybe only an inch off the floor. So this isn't a big move. Try to keep your belly soft and negotiate with the muscles of your butt to maybe not clench. It takes a little while to figure that out. For me, it did. This may not be a big tremor for you, or it might be. And one thing that I really like to do, if this doesn't feel good to you, don't do it. But I like to put my zafu underneath my butt and hips and just let that drape. I can also feel my upper back spreading. Feels really great. So softening the tissues along your lungs, your diaphragm, opening up your hips. And you can go ahead and remove the zafu and we'll turn over onto our bellies. So let's just start by releasing into gravity on your belly. You can bring one leg up or you can keep both your legs straight. Just have your head however it's comfortable. And feel the sort of relief of the floor holding you. Your abdominal muscles don't have to do any work. And you can breathe into the floor as well. And now let's go into our first one, the mermaid. So, bringing your hands right underneath your shoulders, bringing your feet together, you're going to push up with your arms. So come up, like probably past your belly button, keeping your head heavy and your arms bent. So you're not locking out your arms here. The tremor is in your arms and shoulders and upper back. And you can play with coming up and down a little bit, if that helps you to find that tremor. Could take longer if you're somebody who is very, very strong in your arms. Sounding on the exhale. Let your butt go if it's decided to clench and help. And go ahead and come down, and you can bring up your leg, the other leg if you want to, and just rest. You might notice your heart rate started to accelerate a little bit here. That'll happen as we go along. If you ever feel tingling, pins and needles, emotional, all of those things can be normal with this, especially at first. Bring your leg back down, and we're going to go into the rocking horse. So you can reach back for your feet, your ankles, keeping your forehead on the floor. You'll kick away from your skull. Your legs are doing 100% of the action. And some of you are going to be way more flexible than I am. Sounding on your exhale. This is often when I'll start laughing or getting emotional. You can also do one leg at a time. Or if you have an injury, you can just work on one leg here. And go ahead and come on out and push up and back into a child's pose. That'll be a nice counter stretch for your back. If this doesn't feel good to you, it causes stress or tension, you might experiment with putting the zafu underneath your butt, sort of on top of your heels. And that could give you some support. And if this just doesn't work for you, just go ahead and get back onto your belly. Breathing into your lower ribs. Let's move on into the kneeling arch. This is a big heart opener. So come onto your knees and put your toes on the floor, so they're like tippy toes on the floor, and then reach back for your heels, or opening up the heart. You can keep your head looking down, or you can send your eye gaze to the ceiling, but don't bring your neck way back. We want to keep that. We don't want to hyperextend. I put the zafu actually under my toes to give me some support. And I don't tend to stay in this one very long. If you like it, stay in longer. And whenever you're done, come on out into child's pose or rest on your belly. we're going to move into the healthy cow. So coming onto all fours. Bring your hands a little wider than your shoulders and turn your fingertips slightly inward. Let your head drop and let your back drop. And then bring your weight forward into your arms. This one, the tremor is in the upper body and the arms. So bending your elbows, sounding on your exhale. This is often one where I laugh or get a little emotional. You can also try getting a tremor by pressing your hands together while they're on the floor, so it's like you're getting a different kind of stretch and tremor. And go ahead and come into child's pose. We're going to start our standing sequence. So coming up to running monkey and blue-bottomed baboon. Running monkey is just running from a downward facing dog. You can make a lot of sound here. And then whenever you're finished, just come into, we call it the the blue-bottomed baboon. It looks like downward facing dog. You can think of your haunches right underneath your butt, coming up towards the ceiling and turning blue. Arms are bent. You might have tremors in your legs or your arms here. And into our final two, the drop down and the baby earthquake and the standing sequence. So bringing your feet wide, turn your toes in. And I like to cross my arms, let your head go. Maybe you can squeeze your thighs together, or maybe your tremor is from straightening your legs. Getting closer and closer to being ready to start rehearsal. You've got oxygenated blood, you've stretched, your voice is ready to go, and hopefully you feel really vibrant and alive and released. And we're going to come into our standing. So bringing your feet together, bending your knees, and we'll roll up vertebra by vertebra so your head's the last thing to come up. And link your thumbs and bring your hands behind your head, eye gaze to the ceiling, heart open. And from this, when you're ready, you'll just do a little baby earthquake to shake all of it into place. You will be ready to go.